A very warm good morning to all of you. Dear students, once again I would like to welcome all of you to a new session of the history class. Today we are going to continue with the same chapter, chapter number 11, the Second World War, part 2. Do you remember what we were discussing in the last class? In the last class we were discussing about the different causes behind the emergence of the Second World War. Among the different causes, we were discussing the first cause in detail. What was the first cause? Do you remember? Dissatisfaction with the Treaty of Versailles. And there we have seen what was the importance of Treaty of Versailles in the history. Because by the Treaty of Versailles, the First World War came to an end. But there were a number of countries who were not happy with the Treaty of Versailles. So about those points we were discussing in the last class. And today we are going to discuss the second point, the second reason behind the emergence of the Second World War, that is rise of fascism and Nazism. Two different ideology which led to the emergence of the Second World War. So without wasting time, let's move to the class. Rise of fascism and Nazism. One of the main reasons behind the emergence of fascism and Nazism was because of the extreme nationalism. If you want to understand, we need to go through a few number of points with related to fascism and Nazism. In Italy and Germany, people started to feel like they were humiliated. They were insulted by the Treaty of Versailles. Because as we have seen in the one of the previous classes, the victorious countries enforced or blamed Italy and Germany behind the emergence of the First World War. And they have divided even Germany into two for the benefit of Poland. So such kinds of different act was there according to the Treaty of Versailles. So the people of Italy and Germany, they felt like humiliated and they felt like they were insulted by the Treaty of Versailles or by the different leaders of the victorious countries. So the people of Germany and Italy were waiting for a chance to fight against the victorious countries or the other powerful countries. So the leaders of Germany and Italy during the time of 1930s were Adolf Hitler and Mussolini. Italy was under the control of Mussolini and Germany was under the control of Adolf Hitler. Both these people convinced the nation by boosting their glorious past. They have told, we have to repay or we have to reply to those nations who were blaming us, who were the reason behind our destruction, who were the reason behind our exploitation. And the people of Italy and Germany has got boosted by the words of their leaders. Here you have to remember one thing. This fascism and Nazism were the two different phases of dictatorship. The ultimate decision of the nation was taken by the single man of the nation, the ruler of the nation. It was called dictatorship. So fascism and Nazism were the two different phases of the dictatorship, or in other words we can say like two sides of the same coin. Their ideologies were different, but their meaning were same. So Italy and Germany were the two different countries who were strictly following this dictatorship, and the people of Italy and Germany became enthusiastic by the words of their leaders, because their leaders were promising them about their glorious past, which means they told the people that we will bring our glorious past back. So the people of Germany and Italy were ready to follow any of the demands or any of the commandments of their leaders. Let's see something more in detail about Italy. The leaders, especially when we speak about Italy, the leader of Italy was Mussolini, and whenever he addressed the people of Italy, he told about reviving its past glory. Already the people of Italy was waiting for a leader who could reply to the other nation by force. So when Mussolini got a chance to become the leader, he has exploited the national feeling of the people for their personal benefit. That's why I have told you in the beginning, extreme nationalism. People were ready to do anything for their leader. So, revive its past glory. That was the main agenda or the main point which upheld by Mussolini. In order to strengthen her power, Mussolini made a pact. In 1937, he has signed an anti-Comintern pact, which means anti-communist pact. During 1930s, in different parts of the world, communism started to grow. There were different reasons behind it. Some of the intellectuals, some of the political leaders started to feel like democracy is not a solution for the development of the country, or through democracy nothing is going to happen in the country. That's why they have supported dictatorship. At the same time, in different parts of the country, communist ideology started to grow. It was because of the different causes like Russian Revolution, French Revolution and so on. Because communist ideology is giving importance to the demands of laborers or the people working class. So anti-Comintern pact means anti-communist pact. So by 1937, Mussolini has signed an anti-communist pact with Germany. So according to this pact, Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy governments have signed certain terms and conditions. The pact was between Italy and Germany. By 1939, Italy made an alliance with Germany for 10 years. Such a long alliance, which means from 1939 to 1949, 10 years of alliance between Germany and Italy. And you have to remember one thing, both these countries were strictly following the dictatorship or the dictatorship form of government. Nazi government in Germany and fascist government in Italy. So that's why their ideologies, their methods, their objectives were different, but their meaning or the method which they followed were same. So they have made a treaty, an alliance for 10 years between Italy and Germany. The people who had witnessed this kinds of growth in the administration of the country, they have supported the dictatorship in Italy because they were knowing that for a democratic administration, for a democratic government, all these things are not possible. But at the same time, in the case of a dictatorship, they knew that they can achieve more and more by following the dictatorship. And they have witnessed it. Within a short span of time, Italy has achieved such a growth. It was just because of dictatorship. And when we go through the history, we can say that they have achieved a lot of growth very fast. In the same way, they have destroyed also very fast. So dictatorship became very powerful in Italy. And Mussolini was always speaking against the Treaty of Versailles. He opposed the Treaty of Versailles because he was whenever he was addressing the people, he told Treaty of Versailles is an evil to the people of Italy. So that's why people were ready to support him. People were ready to follow his instructions. People were ready to die for their nation. Extreme nationalism. In order to prove the strength of Italy, Mussolini attacked and captured Abyssinia. So it was the first act done by one of the dictatorship nation, that is Italy. We have already seen by the end of the First World War, there was the formation of League of Nations taking place, or League of Nations, an organization set up to stop a Second World War. So League of Nations failed to take any action against Italy. So it was one of the failure from the side of League of Nations. So when we study the different causes, the last cause which we are going to discuss is about the failure of League of Nations. So when we discuss that point, I will tell you further in detail about what was the reason behind the failure of League of Nations. So when Italy attacked and captured Abyssinia, League of Nations failed to take any action against Italy. And that particular state, or it exhibited the weakness of League of Nations, or in other words, the other nations, especially countries like Germany and the countries who faced a lot of humiliation in the First World War, they understood that League of Nations is such a weak organization which will be not able to take any actions against their activities. So when League of Nations failed to take an action against Italy, when it attacked and captured Abyssinia, the other countries also got enough courage to involve in war. Now let's see about Germany. So we were discussing about the different factors related to Italy. Now let's see some points with regard to Germany. Revive its prestige. So when Italy was focusing on its glorious past, Germany was focusing on its prestige, because we have already seen Germany was divided into two for the benefit of Poland, and its different colonies were being separated and they have declared as independent nations. Number of small countries formed after the First World War. So Germany really felt like humiliated. So German leader, who was Adolf Hitler, he always spoke about its prestige, and he promised the people that we will revive the prestige of our country. So the people of Germany were ready to follow his instructions. They were ready to fight for their country as per the instruction of their leader. Whenever he got a chance to address the people, he has shown his angry with the Treaty of Versailles, because Germany was the main country which declared as the reason behind the First World War. And we have already seen Germany has paid $33 billion as a compensation to the countries who faced a lot of destructions, and their colonies, the colonies of Germany were taken away from her, and again Germany divided into two for the benefit of Poland. So Germany faced a lot of humiliation, a lot of prestigious issues. So that's why whenever Adolf Hitler got a chance to address the people, he was speaking against the Treaty of Versailles. He shown his dissatisfaction with the Treaty of Versailles. Again, we have seen, as per the Treaty of Versailles, rearmament was not permitted for Germany. Or in other words, total number of soldiers in the army of Germany was reduced to 1 lakh, and number of soldiers in the navy was limited to 25,000, and there were permitted with only 15 ships. So these kinds of restrictions were there over Germany. So Adolf Hitler, who was a very powerful and courageous leader, he declared rearmament, which means he had given permission. He had violated the Treaty of Versailles and started to collect weapons to fight against other nations. He has collected enough and more weapons, different kinds of new technologies, and he has increased the number of army men in the army, soldiers in the army, and in the field of navy and air force, and everything started to increase. So he declared rearmament. In 1938, he annexed Austria. So as the first state or the first step towards the declaration of the war, it was in 1938, he had annexed, by the support of his army, he annexed Austria to Germany. So both the countries who were following dictatorship, Italy and Germany, got involved in the war by violating the Treaty of Versailles. They were not ready to follow the rules and regulations of the League of Nations. Italy attacked Abyssinia and conquered it. Germany annexed or attacked Austria and annexed it with Germany. So both these countries had made attack on another country by violating the Treaty of Versailles and by violating the rules and regulations of the League of Nations. So finally we can say that Hitler and Mussolini together took the leadership of Second World War. So in other words, the activities of Hitler and Mussolini led to the beginning of the Second World War. One of the reasons among the rest is because of the Nazism and fascism followed by Italy and Germany. So dear students, I hope that you have got a very clear idea about the second reason which led to the emergence of the Second World War. So here I am winding up today's class. In the next class we will be discussing the next point. Till then, I would like to sign off. Thank you.